Okay, so the situation is we are working on a garage roof that was previously a flat roof, and we're going to put it on a pitch, a very low pitch, but just enough for the water to roll off, because otherwise it just sits on the flat roof and it leaks constantly. So the situation is these roofs were made, these buildings, approximately 1979, and I would call it a construction defect from the start. Whoever the architects were or this HOA never should have allowed it. Some places are illegal to have flat roofs. But in any case, we're just going to have to deal with it. But it's been hard because you have 4 different unit owners involved in this building, and getting everybody on board together at the same time to invest in doing it and recognizing they have to do it, because sometimes these roofers come over, whether they're licensed or unlicensed, and they say, oh, we'll fix it. And, you know, it's like they say, oh, we have a warranty. But every time, I don't care who you put on these flat roofs, they don't work. And within 3 to 5 years, they are leaking again. And so you have to redo them. And so there are like layers upon layers of flat roof on here. And so I have Tara and her brother Mark here, and we are going to show you through this video how we are reconstructing this roof. It's a small miracle. We went back to the drawing board like 20 times and to get everybody on board and on a budget with people involved that everybody could afford, and we're making it happen. And they're doing a good job, and we are gonna get this roof finally corrected so that we don't have to worry about a leaking roof every year anymore when it rains. So I'm really excited, and here we go. I'm going to show you what's going on.
If they would give me a fucking job, whatever.
Home Depot doesn't want to help us get these 20-foot long pieces of wood for the slant. So we are up there climbing. We have our helpers climbing in to get the wood. So we're here at Home Depot getting these 20 feet long pieces of wood, and we have to get them off of the 4th highest shelf, and nobody at Home Depot is helping us.
4 more. Let's go to these back ones.
So this is kind of difficult. We're up on ladders getting these pieces of wood, and this is going to make the slant. So these are 2 by 6 by 20, and we are getting 15 of them. Okay, so I have 4 carts of materials at Home Depot. We have this 9 rolls of roofing that has adhesive on it. We have 28 big pieces of plywood and 2 carts that have been rolled out. So we're fitting some of the stuff inside the van. We've decided that this big long wood is going to be too heavy for that roof rack that I have on the minivan. So we are going to rent a truck for a bulk of this wood because it's so much weight and it's pretty big and long.
Yes, no? Yeah.
So the wood was too long and big, so we are renting a truck instead of using my minivan over there. And we put that up there. They're going to put these big 20-foot pieces up on the head of the truck. You're going to have them sticking up? You're going to put them on top? I think they're going to go up. We're going to see how this goes. It's not too far to the property. It's about, I don't know, 2 miles or less from this Home Depot to the property. So we're not going on the highway if we can make it secure enough. I think they're going to strap it down. You're going to have it sticking out?
Yeah, and then we'll strap down.
Maybe they are. They're going to strap it down.
Should we put it in there? Set it in there? Well, what? It's not going to stick out any further than the front of the trunk.
So they are loading up these pieces of wood. Do you believe this? I guess it's gonna get strapped down like that. These 20 feet long pieces of wood on the Home Depot truck.
Okay.
So we're loading this truck and there is the 20-foot wood. It's gonna get tie strapped down on this Home Depot truck. We have the plywood inside and there are the rolls of roofing getting loaded.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we have these tie downs.
Okay.
Okay, now the next
I
one.
want to do one wrap on the bottom, and then the second one I want to wrap. I want to come up diagonal up around that back end. What do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, something like that, you know?
If that's what you like to do, sister, we do.
Shut up, Mark.
His brother and sister
Right?
team doing the roof.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Okay, so we got 3 tie downs, tying down this wood. We're not going too far, and hopefully we make it safely. We're having a red flag because the wood is sticking out the back, so we don't want, it's like a hazard to let people know not to hit us when we're driving to the condo.
Well, we should have done, but yeah, well, it is what it is.
Okay, amazingly, we made it without anything falling off. We're now pulling the wood off of the truck and we're putting it into the garage where we will diagonally cut it to be on a slant.
I don't know if it's going to go through. I don't know. Well,
But we're unloading all of the wood and everything from the truck into the garage. So this wood is 20 feet long and we're putting it in the garage on a diagonal because the garage is 17 feet long. So that's what's happening. Now we are unloading the plywood. You see the sides of the truck come down like that. The side of the pickup truck actually comes down. And so we pulled it right up to the garage. And they're unloading the wood into the garage. There are 28 pieces, big pieces of plywood, and we have 9 big rolls of this rolled roofing with adhesive on it. And we have 15 20 feet pieces of long board in there, 2 by 6 by 20. Old roofing material that came down off the roof, going into the dumpster. It's getting torn up.
Look here, look at this.
There's our worker. We're getting it torn up.
You're missing out. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay, so we took the top layer off of the roof and this is what it looks like. You can see the old plywood is not in good shape. It's kind of damp and rotted. We can go over the top with the new wood, putting it on a slant, or they can put new plywood down, replacing this plywood that we see here on the flat roof, and that is what is recommended. And they're offering to do it for $225 a roof just for that plywood. So I'm going to ask the other owners if they would like to do that, and we will see what they say. And that's where it stands. We had no idea that there were 4 layers on top of this flat roof over the years. There's no way of knowing until you start pulling it off, but we just kept putting new roofs on to fix the old roofs. And that's why I said we have to have it as a slant in order to fix it right, because flat roofs don't work. So they just kept putting flat roof upon flat roof. And so on the edge of the building there were 4 flashings with metal roof 4 times, so it's been very difficult for them to get it off. But anyway, this is what's going on, so I'll see what the owners say. So we have this area blocked off with caution tape so that nobody walks on this walkway to the condo, because we are dumping the roof, or the extra roof, the old roof, onto the ground here. So all of this will need to get put into the dumpster over here. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet. See, our neighbor rents out these Teslas. But yeah, so I don't know how we're going to do that yet. But we'll see in a minute.
Okay.
So moving this stuff, it looks like the best idea is dragging it on a tarp or picking it up with the tarp. And that is how we are going to get this old roof to the dumpster.
I got this.
Strategy.
I got this. Just so you pull the other part.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so the roof has been taken off. It's all swept off. Might be drying just a little bit, but it looks like it's about ready to proceed with the slanted roof. So we'll be building on top of it and maybe replacing a few pieces of wood. We'll see. So I got some extra wood at Home Depot, and we were able to get this wood into the minivan. It was able to slide in. We're gonna hold this down because it's kind of sticking out the edge, but I think we'll make it. It's not too far from the property. And he's gonna put a red tie-down flag so people see that we're open. Okay, so I got another load of wood loaded. Always good, you spend $2,000 or more on all these products at Home Depot. Good to let them help you load and tie stuff down. These ratchets are a little tricky to figure out, but we did get the ratchet going. And we're off to the property. Yeah, for some reason, nobody at Home Depot knows how to use these ratchets. And every time I use them to get them, you know, on the, using the roof rack, I usually have one of my handy people or Home Depot. Anyway.
Okay, step on this end, right? To ratchet it, to pull it through like this.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That's
So
how you do that. Keep them straight. Always keep them straight.
it's kind of like
Don't you want this to get off?
threaded. It's threaded.
It's not threaded. It's just good.
Just through that one circular part.
Yep. See? That's threaded.
Okay, that's it? Just like that?
Yeah. There you go. Put that in
It's
wherever
not
you're
even
gonna
threaded,
wrap
it's
it.
just one.
Yeah,
And you're
lift
pulling
this
that
up.
thing up and down.
Yeah, that's how you release it.
Okay, so that's how you do it. And it releases and that's it.
Yeah, so just strap
So
whatever you
why
want.
is he making it so difficult?
It's not smart.
Yeah, that old guy at Home Depot, he didn't know how to do the ratchet.
So here,
And-
what is this?
Yeah, I said this can't be that hard.
It's not. Hi guys.
All right. Okay, so we need a 7 1/4 inch blade, and it has this kind of ridge on it, and it's for wood,
Yeah.
right? And this is our saw for cutting the wood.
There you go.
Okay, these gloves we recommend, they're only $1.99 at Harbor Freight, and they're hardy gloves, and we're gonna get a few pairs for our workers for the wood.
He's trying to get.
So we are replacing some of the plywood there. These are a couple of the pieces that came off the roof, as well as these. Those look a little bit more shot. And we're going to replace the whole roof pretty much with plywood. So this is inside Unit D, garage. And we already completed the plywood on the ceiling. She elected to go ahead and replace that wood. So you see that it's all a nice new level ceiling and roof that they can more safely work from as well when they put the slanted roof on top of it. And it's a good thing she took this down because there were like a lot of these crumbs from the old plywood that was kind of crumbling and falling apart. And then these little remnants start to like fall on your car or whatever you have stored in your garage. So, you know, if you're replacing a flat roof that was kind of a mess like ours was, it's good to just put this new plywood in. So we have some new wood here, which will be nice and fresh because some of the old wood was kind of crumbling onto the ceiling. And actually Tara has a story, a mutual friend, she was standing in the garage, working in a garage of someone we know, and that also had a flat roof, and it fell on her while she was working. Tell them about that. The garage roof fell on her while she was working. No kidding. What was it? Sheetrock?
Oh, the sheetrock fell down.
Oh my God. I mean, if that was anyone else or even Tara, oh my God, she's like Superwoman here. Look at, do not hesitate to hire a woman. This woman is like unbelievable. And this is her brother. He's doing spectacular too. Lifted up all these boards and they're just doing a really good job. Okay, so this is the pitch. It's just very subtle, but it's a slow pitch, about 1 inch every 4 feet. This is a 20-inch board. So it's very subtle, but just enough for the water to go down. And what we're doing here is we have a chalk line on these 2x6s that they're doing diagonally. And they're setting up these boards to saw against it, so that just makes it easier to cut these boards at the diagonal on that chalk line. Okay, so she's saying that, like, for example, these two pieces we cut it at a diagonal. One is a little bit higher, and it's because the wood was bowed on this particular board. We have, you know, many more boards over there we're going to cut. And so, you know, we tried to pick out the best pieces of wood at Home Depot that we could. If you remember, we got them from the 4th shelf on our own, and they were digging through trying to find ones that were not bowed, but maybe there's, you know, you're going to get imperfect pieces of wood. So she's going to be sanding it down with this sander just to correct it and even them out. And like I say, we have this, they're putting it against this board here to cut to make it easier, and so it won't bow in the course of making the cut with the electric saw blade. He's holding it while he's doing the cut. And then cutting it on the chalk line. And she's stepping down on the board that they're cutting it against as a guide. And this is the little map of the roof. And these are where the slants are, those boards we just cut and put up there. And then the plywood is going to go over the top. And that is the plan. That's the size of the roof. So it's a little bit longer on the ends up there.
2 more after this one. Woohoo!
3 more boards to go. We're here at night trying to knock this out to get this project done before it rains later this week and the wind. So she's here working night hours. And we even have a battery operated light because we had issues with the power going out in the garage. We're gonna have to what's up with that, getting an electrician over here. I don't know where the fuse box is, so we're going to find out. But there is some light in the complex, but you see it's dark. So here we are. So here's a side view of this slow slant. You can see it goes down a ½ inch every few feet. So that's a total of 6 inches. I think an inch every 4 feet. It's very slow, but it's just enough of a slant for the water to go down. This backboard, the board's only coming 20 feet, so you see there's an extra ½ foot to foot at the end. We have a board that's slightly higher, and so it will continue to slope down, and then they'll put the flashing on. Oh my gosh, the weather took a turn, and we have snow. It is snowing, so we went and got these tarps to put over the roof until we can put down the shingles. We have the wood up there at least. But this is crazy. We were hoping it wasn't even forecast actually. No, not today. Not just rain though, this is snow. And this is Las Vegas. It got cold out here all of a sudden. And we need the weather gods to stop this so we can finish our project. So here's Tara. She's going to nail down some tarps that I got at Harbor Freight, and that's the best we can do for the moment. This is crazy. This is not light snow flurries. It is snowing hard. Look at those clouds. Oh my gosh. It is snowing hard in Vegas. And it doesn't snow in Vegas usually. It is snowing. Yeah, so we got the boards up, but you can see the snowflakes on top of the roof while she is hammering down the tarps. Yeah, this is a downpour, like disaster with the weather right now, and this roof project, not a good thing. So we're finishing the wood, and we're going to put a tarp on the roof because we're running into weather issues where the rolled roofing has adhesive to it. So it goes on nicely, but it has to be over 50 degrees unless you use a torch. And it's actually really cold out here all of a sudden. So we might put this tarp back on for a day or two until it warms up, so that we don't have to use a torch, and then we can put the rolled roofing on. So there's the blue tarp up on the roof, and we are now going to wait until it warms up and there's no rain in the weather forecast so we can finish it up.